So most of you have probably heard of a guy named Hunter Biden. If you haven't, he's the son of the dude who thinks he's president.
Mr. President.
And you know what's interesting about his dad? He believes that guns are pretty much the worst thing that could possibly, be in Americans' hands at this point. For sure worse than fentanyl that's coming over the border. 100%. And you know, something interesting about a family dynamic is usually if you respect your father, a lot of your thoughts or your principles are going to be based off of stuff that he's about. Maybe not everything, but most stuff. So let's run back through time for a second here. If you're not clear on this, Hunter Biden was an addict and a bad one. I'm not exactly sure how to describe what kind of addict he was because I've never participated in being an addict in my life. But one thing that I will say is if your life revolves around weighing crack, hanging out with hookers in motels, and holding a gun naked in hotel rooms and filming it all, you probably have a decent problem. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see everyone in the world who does cocaine or crack doing this. That being said, his ex-wife or wife, who really cares, probably got fed up with it at a certain point, and when they were driving by a school, his wife took his gun and dumped it in a trash can across the street from a school. Now, I don't know about y'all when you were growing up, but for me, we had a gas station right next to my high school, so every day after school, we'd all walk over there, get a snack, a drink, hang out until our parents came to pick us up if we weren't driving yet. Do you think it was any different for this school? What if somebody found the gun? What if a kid found the gun, was like, oh, let's see if it's a real gun or an airsoft gun? I mean, the possibilities are endless. And the reason why I'm playing the what if game is that's what these people do. Whenever it involves gun control, they play the what if game. What if you don't lock up your gun? What if an American does something stupid with a gun? If there is one thing that Second Amendment absolutists believe, it's that you cannot rely on anyone else to take care of you. Not with your life, and not with your wealth either. We owe it to our families and the generations to come to be smart with how we protect them. Throughout our lifetime and lifetimes before, the dominance of the US dollar has been unquestioned. But that is simply changing. Banks are falling left and right, and the government is talking about taking complete control of your money with this new digital dollar. So don't let your life savings become a casualty of currency wars or falling corporations. Now is the time to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your wealth portfolio with physical gold and silver. They have the finest products, amazing customer service, and a trusted buyback commitment. American Hartford Gold has a 5-star rating from thousands of reviews and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. So when you call them, tell them that I sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Just like this piece right there. So call them now. Click the link in the description or call 844-940-0662. Or you can text HEAVY to 65532. And once again, a big thanks to our friends over at American Hartford Gold for sponsoring today's video. Now, why am I saying all this? Well, Hunter Biden had a couple of gun charges filed against him. I don't know how that happened when daddy is in the White House. But look at what his defense attorneys are saying. His defense attorney argued the gun case should be tossed out because an appeals court has found the law violates the Second Amendment. These charges are unprecedented and violate the agreement the U.S. attorney made with Mr. Biden. So, what they're referring to is that he lied on his 4473, which is the form you fill out before you put in a background check, saying that he was not a current drug user.
On the form, Hunter Biden wrote that he was not a drug user, and by his own admission, he was a drug user, wasn't he?
Well, okay, look, if you're going to be specific, then be specific. If the form asks if you are a drug user on the day you buy a gun, that is an issue. If it says, have you ever used drugs, that's an issue, and that will be played out in court.
So
again, I want to point out.
Let me just stop you there. So you're saying that your defense is going to be that he was not a drug user on the day he signed the form?
But I just have one question for Hunter Biden and his daddy Joe. What kind of game is this? I mean, Joe, you're up here saying this.
The idea we still allow semi-automatic weapons to be purchased is sick. It's just sick. It has no social redeeming value.
But then when it comes to your son, no. Screw it. It's all good. I know him. So this is what needs to happen. And I'm really hoping that Hunter gets these charges dropped, not filed, dismissed for a couple reasons. One, even though it's Hunter Biden, they're all unconstitutional. My belief isn't going to change just because Hunter Biden is a scumbag and his dad is in the same group. The second reason is because if these charges are dropped, every single person who's ever been charged with something like this, lying on a 4473, they're going to be able to take this to an attorney and say, okay, get me off. It's unconstitutional. Oh, what case are you referring to that proves it's unconstitutional? Oh, just the son of the president. So how about this for all the people who are gun controllers? Just be consistent. When you're true to what you believe in, you're consistent with it. And there are no exceptions. It's not, well, I don't cheat on my wife except for when there's a super hot chick around. No, you just don't do it. Same thing with if you believe in gun control. If you truly believe in gun control and our background checks and all this stuff, you should personally throw your son in prison. Joe, I know you're asleep right now, but are you listening? If you believe in gun control as much as you talk about it, I mean, it's the second most thing you talk about besides Trump, throw your son in prison. If you aren't planning on throwing your son in prison, then drop the gun control crap. The only reason why gun control exists is because there's a lot of stupid people in the world. That's it. Anyone with a brain will understand that there is no basis, there is no data, there is no proof that it works. In fact, there is proof that it doesn't work and that it makes things worse.